And as a young man, he was summoned to the wars. Spent his best years with blood on his hands.
Of all sad words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these: it might have been. Hey guys, it's HomoMoto. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Subject for today's video is basically how you shouldn't get attached to someone on the opposite side of the country, especially if it's someone that you've never met in person. Even if you've talked hours and hours and hours on the phone to, sent pictures back and forth, videos, whatever. Long distance relationships typically don't work out. The only time I've seen that they do work out is if a person, a couple is married and work takes them away, but they were committed to a relationship prior to separation, and even then it's hard. I've been in one long distance relationship where I was dating a guy in the Navy and he had moved off. I've actually dated two guys in the Navy anyway. The guy was in the Navy and he got stationed far off, and I was going to potentially move, and we just drifted apart, and that tends to happen. Another guy I was talking to was actually in Australia. Great guy. His name was Sean. I won't say his last name. He's actually deceased now. He had leukemia. He died at a young age. He had survived it as a child leukemia, and he was a child leukemia survivor, I should say. And when he had hit his early mid-20s, it came back, and it devastated him. He didn't last long when it came back. It was kind of a bad deal. We were talking one day, and he told me that his leukemia had come back, and just things got bad, and we had talked off and on. But when I would call him, he couldn't talk very long, and his voice was getting weaker and weaker, and I knew, it was getting close. And I guess a couple of weeks went by, and I called just to check on him, and his sister answered the phone and told me that he had passed. So, I never got to meet him. We talked a lot, though. We talked for several months, and it was nice. He was a great guy. He was a young surfer. He actually was, I don't know if he was pro or semi-pro or what, but he was a great guy. Really nice, real fun to talk to. I used to love talking to him with his Australian accent. Moving on to the point of the video, I recently had been talking to a really good guy. I won't say his name. We talked last night, which this video will probably come out a week after our conversation. But we had been talking, and things had been moving in the right direction. And, at one point, I had considered moving to California to be with this guy. And if anyone knows him, I'm not going to say his name, but if y'all meet him, he's a great guy, He's former military. That's all I'm going to say about him. I'm not going to say another word about him as far as what he does or who he is, because I don't want to give any clues to who he is, out of respect for him. But, we talked for a while, and there were times we talked on the phone for hours and hours and hours and hours. And I don't know, one night, I haven't drank alcohol in a long time, but he had had a few drinks, and he made a comment that I didn't like, kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. And I kind of distanced myself at that point, because the quicker I can break myself off from somebody that's not working out, the better off I'm going to be, because I don't want to get attached to somebody that's not going to work out, especially if they're, a week drive away. And we had a lot of the same things in common. We're both gun nuts and both like bikes, and both fans of BXD. But hang on, let me get through this red light. I don't want to bore y'all with it. Never mind, it changed. Anyway, we had a lot in common, and I don't know, I just felt like maybe he might have been the one. But
you ain't the one. She's not the one.
No, it didn't happen that way. It's hard even to talk to him on the phone now, just knowing that that's someone I actually wanted to be with, or I thought I did. And I'm glad things ended now versus later. because I mean we stopped talking about possibly trying to meet and or date, like meet halfway and or date a couple months ago. But here the last couple days, you know, conversation just kind of ensured that we never would be much more than friends, if even that. Dude, I still want to be friends with you, but that would be it. If you're down for that. If not, you know, to each his own. I had pulled myself away from any potential attachment the first conversation we had that I didn't like. And that's because I've been in some pretty strange relationships that some of them actually became violent. And I'm not a violent person, and I won't tolerate a violent person. And no, dude didn't threaten me with any kind of harm or anything. It's just, you know, he let me know he had some hang-ups right off the bat, and I'm glad he did. Thanks, man, for that. I really do appreciate it. Because when I get attached, I really get attached. And because of that, that incident, it's helped me to start looking closer anyway. I need somebody that's close to my own age, close to the same things I like. Just I don't know. I need someone like me in a lot of ways, but not like me at all in other ways. Because I don't know, it's, I guess, being in law enforcement and everything, I've grown to be kind of a cold-hearted person to a degree. I mean, yeah, I still help people. I've at least try to save lives. I've been doing this for a long time. And I need somebody that doesn't do that type of thing. I don't know, just different social circle. Close enough that we can have the same friends, but not so close that any little thing sets us off. So, that being said, and I think I've said in prior videos that I'm not really looking for a relationship, and I'm not really looking to date, because I'm kind of not, but it's to the point now. I just turned 46 in December, and it gets me thinking, if I don't meet somebody now, I'm probably not going to meet anybody later. I don't want to say I'm getting to the point of desperation now, because I'm not. I can definitely be happy staying by myself. I've still got what little family I got left, but they're great. I've got a couple really good friends, 3 or 4, 2 in particular, that have been with me through everything. I don't know. I guess if I were to give anyone any advice at all, it would be, if you're not already in a relationship with someone that's long distance, don't waste your time. Don't waste your emotions. It's not worth it. You know, you do you, and eventually the right person will come along. Don't try to reach out for something that's not obtainable, because the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to be discouraged and, I don't know, turn that much colder. I do consider myself a cold person for the most part, but when I do warm up to someone, it's definitely worth it. I don't know. Well, guys, that's all I got for this one. I love y'all, and roll tide.
I was a storm, and I passed right over you. And I tried to eclipse the sun, in the hopes that you love the tumble and spray in your face, and the sky broken